some of the top 5 spring game battles. And in chat, let us know what some of the battles are that you're excited to watch for the spring game. Whether you're coming to the big house, whether you're going to watch it on TV, let us know in chat what you think some of the top battles are to watch. But I think we've got to start with the very obvious one, right? Bryce Underwood coming in as the highest rated recruit in history, coming in one of the biggest recruiting coups in this century. To be honest, to take a recruit from LSU, that would never have happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And he's faced, so a lot of people are coming just for him, but he's facing a very good quarterback coming in from Fresno State, somebody with thousands of passing yards himself. These two are going to battle in the spring game, and most likely, this is the way I would do it. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I would want to put Bryce Underwood under center on one of the teams and Mikey Keene under center on the other team for like 2 or 3 quarters. And let's let them both sling it and fight it out. What are you most excited about for this one, TJ?
Yeah, I mean, just the battle itself. I mean, you know what I'm most excited about? How about this? 2 competent quarterbacks. One's elite, the other one is solid quarterback starter. College level starter. That excites me the most. I actually have quarterbacks on my roster. But it's going to be a battle. It's the battle. All eyes are going to be on this, right? And Sharon Moore made a comment that the way they're going to handle the quarterback battle is they're going to split the snaps evenly. And they're not going to rush it. But he did say, and I thought this was interesting, he said, if they make a decision in spring, they make a decision in spring. If it goes past spring, then it's going to go past spring. If they got to make a decision in fall camp, they'll make a decision in fall camp. They're not going to rush it. They're going to take it a day at a time. But I found it interesting that he said, if we make a decision in spring, we'll make one in spring. Because typically that's not coach speak. Typically a coach will say, we'll let them battle it out and, we'll take it into fall camp or whatever. But no, I mean, listen, it's gonna be interesting to see if Mikey Keene can hold off Bryce Underwood. If that's even possible. Is Bryce Underwood undeniable? We're gonna find out. I'm sure we'll hear about it. So, we do a call-in show. We do a Tuesday weekly. We're going to talk about this battle at least 273 more times before fall camp. You know what I mean? Like, this is not going anywhere. And like, I already got some people in the chat and it's all love. They're saying Underwood's QB1, TJ. I got Marmar texting me. Underwood's QB1, TJ. Okay. I told you, I'll let you know my opinion on it after the spring game. I'll let you guys know where I'm at on it. But right now, I'm just taking the veteran as it stands. And I just don't trust our offensive line yet. I know. We've been into it. We know. But, yeah, I mean, this is the battle, and this battle is going to it's going to determine the season. This position is what stopped us from being a playoff team. Mm-hmm. The good news is we have either one of these quarterbacks would have got us to the playoffs, so that's the good news. Now we're going to find out, how this transpires, how this plays out, and may the best man win. And we all know that the fan base is going to be behind Underwood, and we know that one mistake, interception, or throw in the big house, they're going to be chanting Underwood. Mm-hmm. You already know. I already know. You already know. It's going to be wild. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a fun time. Let's just see how it plays out, man.
Yeah. And I really liked what both Sharon Moore and Chip Lindsey said. They said the right things. They said that they're all going to get equal snaps, right? That Bryce Underwood, Mikey Keene, and I believe that they're even referring to Jaden Davis, at least for in the beginning, like that he's going to get snaps too. Like they're going to get their opportunity to win the job. And that's what we want to hear, because I'm not convinced, and this is going to get me in a little hot water. I'm not convinced that JJ McCarthy got every opportunity in 2021 to win the job. I think he should have probably started by the Georgia game. It sounds like that's not happening here. It sounds like Bryce Underwood is coming in, Mikey Keene is coming in, and they are giving them both the opportunity to win the job.
Yeah.
Which TJ, you might be right. I might be right. Others, like, they're gonna get to sling it, and I really want to see them sling it. And Chip Lindsey's offense does allow for that X wide receiver to go deep, to make some deep balls happen. He does use a lot of he is still very physical in his offensive play calling. You're still going to see a lot of 6 linemen. You're still going to see a lot of 2 tight ends. You're still going to see some of that, right? But you are going to see that he is not afraid to call deep shots.
I think they're going to let them air the ball out in the spring game, and I think they're going to use it as a recruiting tool. I really think they're going to push it because it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to have a go route. It doesn't hurt to have your wide receivers running go routes. It doesn't hurt to have your players running medium to long routes. It's only going to help you in the recruiting game. It's not going to expose anything or give anything away. I anticipate they're going to let Bryce Underwood show off a little bit and allow the momentum to just. Sharon Moore has a feel for this kind of thing. Sharon Moore knows how to capitalize on momentum. You see him planting flags at basketball games, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't think Sharon Moore is scared of shit. I really don't. I just anticipate Sharon Moore is going to allow Underwood and Mikey Keene to air it out a little bit and kind of show what this offense can do and what these quarterbacks can do in this offense.
For sure. And Marmar, I think you're right. I think Sharon Moore, Chip Lindsey, they do have a similar style of play calling. I think that the differences that I'm seeing is that I see more shotgun in the Chip Lindsey system. I see that it's a little bit more reliant on the quarterback. Sharon Moore's offense was extremely, like, it was very run heavy. It's called, I mean, he says smash. Okay. It's very reliant on the offensive line and the run game. Chip still calls a lot of running plays, but not as many. And I am noticing that the pass does have more variety, and you have a variety of specific routes. Like you might have a curl, you might have a crossing route, you might have a post, you might, like, he really does utilize the full set of routes available to him. I think a little bit more than Kirk Campbell and Sharon Moore did. But yes, are there similarities? Yeah, that's why Chip got hired. He like, somebody who's going Lincoln Riley air raid is not getting hired as the Michigan offensive coordinator under Sharon Moore. That's just plain and simple, right? It's going to be somebody who embraces the Michigan system but expands on it. All right, let's move on. And this is actually a perfect segue, talking about the passing, to the wide receiver battles that we're excited about in the spring game. So both the Z and the Y or slot wide receiver position battles. The first one is very exciting, right? Because Fred Moore is somebody that I have said for quite some time, watch out. And you started to see in the Alabama game a little bit in the beginning, in the first half, you saw a little bit before Davis Warren got rocked, that Fred Moore was getting a little bit of play there. But Here comes Andrew Marsh, who, in my opinion, might turn out to be one of the best wide receivers Michigan has seen since Braylon Edwards. I mean, I'm at the very least Roman Wilson caliber, right? So he's very good, right? And if you watch the film, you'll see what I'm talking about. So those two battling it out for the Z. I could see Fred Moore, due to seniority, maybe edging out in the beginning, but we do have as our way too early starting Z for the fall, Andrew Marsh. So yes. So let's start with that battle, kind of what you're excited about.
Yeah, I mean, this is another one where all eyes are on this battle. This is a critical battle, and Fred Moore did start to show a little bit at the end of the year. How is Fred Moore going to look in a more competent, balanced offense with quarterbacks who can actually get him the ball? We're going to find out. You know, it's his battle. It's literally his position to lose, but Andrew Marsh is going to come and take that position. I mean, it's just what he is. He has a dog mentality, bro. It's going to be a very interesting battle. We do have Andrew Marsh there, but I would not be surprised if Fred Moore does get it, at least in the beginning, to your point on seniority. But there's no doubt in my mind they're not keeping Andrew Marsh off the field. There's no way, in my opinion, he does not get run Now, maybe in week 1, it's one of those things where they want to adjust him to the speed, the physicality of the game. But I think by week 3, 4, you're going to start seeing more and more Andrew Marsh if he's not already cemented himself in a larger role. But yeah, I think this is one of the key camp battles that we are definitely going to be keeping an eye on.
For sure. But the why is something that we're also paying attention to. So Samaj Morgan, I think a lot of us kind of assumed that he would be the starting wide position, but Anthony Simpson might be really challenging him here. Those two might be going at it through the fall. So are you excited to see that in the spring?
Absolutely. And this is the other major battle. And the reason why we don't have the X position up here is because I believe Donovan McCulley's I think he's just going to take that and run with it. But regarding the Y position here, we have the Samaj Morgan, Anthony Simpson battle. And this is a battle. And there's some early indications that Anthony Simpson's kind of showing a little something, right? So we're going to find out. A lot of people are still high on Samaj Morgan, but there's a lot of people who are unsure about Samaj Morgan. We all know Samaj Morgan was definitely a victim of wide open, but no quarterback to get him the ball. We know that. We saw that. Again, this is another one who is going to benefit from a balanced offense with a competent quarterback. But who's going to win the battle? Anthony Simpson did not come here to not play. He did not come here to not start, right? He's coming to play. He's coming to try and start. The question is, can he overtake Samaj Morgan? We're going to find out. Another major battle here that we're definitely going to keep our eyes on throughout spring ball.
For sure. Yeah, and some people are giving Samaj Morgan a little bit of grief here, and Mike Ford, I get it, Mike, right? And I will say this. When you go back and you watch the film of the 12 games, right, of the main season, you start to see that Samaj Morgan was open, right, in multiple times that Davis Warren just straight up missed him, to the point where he was like literally gesturing like, what the hell? Like, why didn't you? I was wide open. And so even though I'm very critical of Ron Bellamy, I'm very critical of his coaching style and what we've seen productivity wise, you can't deny that Samaj Morgan had moments where he was open. Now, would he have caught the ball? It's a whole nother conversation. But he did at least check off step 1, which is get separation, right? Run your route properly, get separation. He did that, and he just wasn't targeted when he was open. So that's something that won't be the case here, because you have two extremely competent throwers of the football that are going to be able to throw to Samaj. So now it's on him to catch those balls, because he will get targeted. He will get those balls. Will he catch those balls or not? That's going to be an open question, and we'll see in the spring game.
Pause. Just saying. All right. So, anyways, yeah, no, we will find out. This is interesting camp battle. We'll figure out who wins, man. It is going to be so interesting to see these wide receiver battles. But on to our next camp battle, John. I'll let you open it up, and we'll get in.
So we've got a 3-way battle for for left guard here. Two of them that we have mentioned in the Michigan at Voice of College Football roster. Nathan Afobe, Brady Norton, but there is a third that we're throwing out there as a possibility, Blake Frazier, because we have to remember that Lawrence Attar will not be there for the spring game. He's not coming for a couple more months. So these are the three that we're tossing around as potential left guard candidates.
Yeah, I mean, this is the battle. I mean, this is the position where we have our biggest question mark. There's going to be a battle. Is Nathan Afobe going to be ready? Brady Norton, we feel, is a developmental 2 years away type guy. Lawrence Attar is not going to be there in June. I have added Blake Frazier in the fight because I think Blake Frazier is actually one of the higher end offensive depth tackles, and you put your best 5 on the line is what you do. And Blake Frazier can play guard. He hasn't necessarily been spoken about as a left guard option yet. I mean, we'll find out if the coaches say anything during spring practice or any of those interviews the coaches do. But it's definitely an area that we have a question mark, and somebody's got to win this battle. Who's it going to be? And not only who's it going to be, how are they going to perform? What level? Because it's got to be. This is one of my people ask like, why the hesitancy with Bryce Underwood starting? This is one of the big reasons for me. I don't know who our left guard is.
Yeah.
I'm not David Carring our quarterback. I'm just not. I'm not getting our quarterback shell shocked because our offensive line can't handle I need to know our offensive line can handle the job before I'm confident putting our cornerstone franchise program defining quarterback behind center. I understand he's mobile. I understand he can evade. To me, the psychology of the game is critical, and I don't want to. I just don't want to rush it if we don't need to rush it. I want to make sure that we have the protection in place to allow our quarterbacks to thrive.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm completely with you. If we're headed into the New Mexico game and we are still having question marks at left guard, then I agree with you. Then you really got to look at Mikey Keene, right? And just go with the experience. I think Lawrence Tarr's going to get he's going to come in and he's going to clear these other guys. I really do, but we don't know because anything can happen in practice.
And even Lawrence Tarr is a question mark to me. He played at a D2 level or an FCS level.
Yeah.
I don't know, D2. Yeah. No, D2. I'm sorry. D2 level. I don't know. I can't say I know. We'll see how he transitions to a D1 Power 4 major program level. We're going to find out. Left guard's my concern, though, going into the spring ball.
Yeah. We got look at this photograph. We got Nickelback. We got Jaden McBurrows, Rod Moore, and Braden Hillman. That's right, folks. There is talk that Rod Moore may be going from safety back to a position that he does know as also, which is the nickelback position. But Jaden McBurrows is definitely going to battle him, as is Braden Hillman. What do you think about this? I'm excited to see Rod Moore back. I really am. Wherever they decide to put him, it's just going to be good to see him back on the field. He's such an X factor. He will change. He can change the outcome of a game. He did change the outcome of a game, right? Very famously. So what do we see here? And what are you looking at it for the nickelback position?
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting battle in camp. Who is going to be the nickelback? Is it Jaden McBurrows? Is he ready? Are they moving Rod Moore from safety to nickel? Is it Brandon Hillman, who I know the chat's very upset with you on the spelling of his name right now, John? But is it Brandon Hillman? He played out. He showed out at the end of the year, right? So I don't know. Is Brandon Hillman going to play safety? Rod Moore going to play nickel? Or are they going to put? It's an interesting. I do not have an answer here. I don't know what they're going to do. We know it's going to be some combination of the players listed here that makes the most sense. We know Zeke Berry is going to be playing on the outside. That's for sure. That's kind of been established. But at the end of the day, I don't know the nickel. I don't know the nickel of this defenses. So it's going to be an interesting one to watch. Another position we're going to be watching very closely as spring ball progresses through the March and April.
Yeah. All right, everybody, take a chill pill. Spelling. Here's the spelling. We got Brandon. Okay, everybody can. But
chat will get you, bro.
Chat will get you. I know. But I'm excited to see this battle, and I'm also excited to see the next battle. Justice Haynes versus Jordan Marshall. Now that is, I will say this about this battle. This isn't as clear cut as you'd think, right? Because in a lot of years, it would be Haynes. He'd be coming in. He's got some experience. He's clocked in. He's been clocked in at the locked in factory, right? But Jordan Marshall had a great first game as RB1 against Alabama. He really stepped up and was one of the players of the game, right?
Yeah.
In that, I think without him, Michigan may not win the ReliaQuest Bowl.
No.
So this is a real battle, and whoever wins, whoever loses, you're going to see them both out on the field in August. But what are you going to be looking at for both of these?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, this is actually a major battle. I don't think we're giving enough attention to, because I think a lot of people in the fan base, and I know I see it in some of the comments, they think it's going to be a 50-50 split. They think these guys are going to be 1A, 1B. I don't think so. I really don't. I personally think Justice Haynes is going to win this battle, and I think Justice Haynes is going to get majority of the carries from like 70-30, maybe 65-45, or I'm sorry, 65-35, something like that. I anticipate that to occur, but I also could see Jordan Marshall potentially getting it as well. They're not going to 50-50 it. We've never seen them do that. There's never been a 50-50 split on any of the running backs we've had. Somebody's going to win this battle. Somebody's going to be the workhorse. Somebody will be. Now, who is it going to be? That's the question. And I think there are some team Marshalls, and we see it in the chat. There's some team Marshall. There's some team Haynes. I'm currently on team Haynes. I do think team Haynes. I think Justice Haynes is going to be RB1. I like Jordan Marshall. It's not anything against Jordan Marshall. I just think it's going to be Haynes' show. He's
AD agrees with you. Moose agrees with you. Yeah, I'm thinking 55-45 Haynes. But Marshall's going to look, I think Marshall, you can't keep a player like that off the field. I think Haynes will get the majority of the carries, but I don't think it's going to be like, 80-20 or 90-10. I think Marshall's going to be on the field a decent amount of the time.
I feel the Haynes-Marshall debate is going to be the second strongest debate next to the Mikey Keene-Underwood debate, because it really is divided in the fan base. Like, it's really interesting to see. And then you got Antoine, who says it's going to be 50-50 because they both run too damn hard. Like, I just, there are people who think it's going to be a 50-50 split as well. It's very interesting, the different segments of the fan base on this.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot of interesting commentary.
I think they'll both run, though. So to Antoine's point, he doesn't think it'd be a 50-50 share in terms of reps. They're both going to run. I don't disagree with that. They're both going to get some run.
And you know who else I think we're going to see a little bit of in some gadget plays, and I think we'll see him start
Micah
to.
Kapana?
You knew it. You knew it was coming. I think they're going to find a way to put him in maybe not like the traditional, like between the A gap, but in some concepts. I think Micah Kapana, and also in the special teams.
That's what I was going to say.
In the special teams role for him too.
I want him at kick returner. I want him at kick returner. Put him at freaking kick returner. He's like the most twitchy, quick player we have.